throw my head back and offer up my thanks. Yeah, ha ha. Don't it make you wanna laugh out loud? Ooh, and shout hallelujah. Oh yeah. If you got joy, don't let it on out. Ha 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 ha. He said, bring to me your heavy heart. Take my hand and we'll go whistling in the dark. Here we go now. Don't it make you wanna laugh out loud? Ooh, and shout hallelujah. Oh yeah. If you got joy, go let it on out. Ha 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 ha. Laugh out loud. Ha ha. Don't it make you wanna laugh out loud? Ooh, and shout hallelujah. Oh yeah. If you got joy, go let it on out. Ha ha ha. Laugh out loud. Ha ha ha. Laugh out loud. From the sky to the sea, to the air that we breathe, from the depths of the earth to the stars. Light up the world, light up the world. Run like you're born to fly. Live like you'll never die. looking at the endless star-filled sky. The world is ours. The world is ours. The world is sing out your battle cry under the stadium sky. Oceans and land divide, united we feel inside. The world is ours. The world is ours. The world is The world is ours. The world is ours. The world is The world is ours. To transform the world, we're giving it our all, breaking through those barriers big and small. Achieving our potential is the ultimate goal. We're the game changers with the future to mold, using our influence to make a difference. Taking our risks and showing our resilience. We need the change we wanna see. With our grit, honor and integrity, we turn purpose into action. Catalyst that sparks
is for the national anthem presented tonight by Honorary of the Republic County FFA chapter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi everyone, my name is Trent Fry and I was a member of the Republic County FFA chapter in Belleville, Kansas, and right now I'm attending Kansas State with a major in agronomy with a consulting and production option and a minor in plant pathology. When I was first trying to find a place to go to college after high school, I really wasn't sure what my real plans were, and I understood what my career path was going to be. I really wanted to become involved in agricultural sales. And Kansas State, out of any other college I looked at, had the most remarkable aspects towards any type of ag education that comes to college students. And one of my favorite parts about Kansas State definitely would have to be just getting the chance to make some of your best friends here. It was very personable. It was a welcoming atmosphere. I mean, it was great. The moment I walked through the door during my first class, I felt welcome. I felt as if I was a good part of the class, a contributing person, and I really appreciate K-State for that greatly.
Why should we die where we were born?
jump the wall. I wanna live and learn. Don't matter if I land or if I fall. I know on my return, at least I know I'll be walking tall. I'm not afraid, 'cause I take the world by storm. I take the world by storm.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the 4th general session of the 89th Kansas FFA Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people, in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to Puerto Rico, and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The secretary will call the roll of members.
I am pleased to announce that at this, the 4th session of the 89th Kansas FFA Convention, there are 1,698 members, guests, and advisors registered, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this session of the 89th Kansas FFA Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. We are honored to have been joined by Mr. Merle Hadachek for this session's opening ceremonies. After 43 years of teaching at Lebanon, Hillcrest, and Republic County, his impact has been left on the lives of many students. Please join me in thanking Mr. Hadachek for his years of service. Some people in life keep you guessing around every turn. This session's chair is no different. Whether he feels like roping random victims' ankles, listening to his terrible taste in music, teaching people how to waltz, or driving to McDonald's with you in the middle of the night, he is always down to have a good time. His passion for rodeo runs deep, and his constant sarcasm and insight add to the dynamic of any team. You can count on him to make sure people are having fun learning about themselves. Please join me in welcoming this session's chair and your Kansas FFA reporter, Jacob Grinstead.
Hello, Kansas FFA members and guests. It's awesome to see chapters from all across the state of Kansas here today for our fourth session. One thing that I know we all share is that we had to take some sort of a trip to get here. For some of us, that trip was probably pretty short, but others probably had trips that lasted several hours. Now, in my experience, the one essential tool during a road trip is the aux cord. It's pretty great that we had an awesome band and chorus jamming out with us before this session, because another essential tool is a solid road trip playlist. During today's session, we'll hear your Kansas FFA treasurer, Caitlin Bonenblust, share her tune as she delivers her retiring address. Just like our playlists serve to make our road trips wonderful experiences, we'll help to meet the people who make our FFA experiences wonderful and recognize them during the Honorary State FFA degree ceremony and the VIP service citation ceremony. We'll also get to meet the members who turn up the volume when talking about agriculture, as we meet the winners of the discussion meet, extemporaneous speaking, and prepared public speaking LDEs. We'll also see chapters who've excelled in the Strengthening Agriculture portion of the National Chapter Contest. Finally, we'll hear from Mr. Melvin Adams, our keynote speaker, as he shares his inspiring message with us. Kansas FFA, let's get ready to jam out during this fourth session in McCain Auditorium. Please help me welcome Ashley Bornholt, Whitney McGee, and Heidi Bonenblust to the stage for a special introduction.
Good evening, I'm Ashley.
I'm Whitney. And I'm Heidi, and we are Caitlin's older sisters. Competitive traveling softball has been a big part of our family's life. At a young age, Caitlin would get ready for her softball games the night before, sliding pads and all, and then so she was ready to go the next morning. Caitlin has always had to have a competitive spirit to keep up with us three older sisters.
A vivid memory of Caitlin for me is when she received Grand Champion Market Lamb at the county fair while I stood second as reserve champion. That is something she will never let me live down. Caitlin is a woman of faith and integrity, and I truly believe that that is what has brought her here today. I'm forever thankful to have been given the nickname Caitlin's second mom growing up.
Yes, I am Caitlin's oldest sister, but I've always looked up to her, not only because she is taller than I am, but because she has the desire to put others before herself. This has been a trait that she has had at a very young age within our community. Her servant heart led her to the people of Nicaragua, and now serving you as a Kansas FFA Association. Please help us join to the stage to give her retiring address entitled Love Does.
Our sister, your 2016-2017 Kansas FFA treasurer, Caitlin Bonenblust.
Before I lay my body down.
I was sitting in my 8th grade ag class, and it was just announced that this week we would be covering one of the most important lessons anybody could ever learn. This week, we would be learning the art of swing dancing. And the person that would be teaching these swing dance lessons would be my advisor, also known as my dad. The worst part was that as his daughter, I was the automatic choice for the swing dance demonstration. My dad grabbed hold of my hands and started throwing me in all different directions. Now, usually in swing dancing this works, except I had never been swing dancing before, and I'm someone who likes to feel very in control. When he tried to lead me in one direction, I stood still, making the whole dance look awkward. When he tried to spin me one way, I ended up spinning the other way. And when he tried to throw me into the pretzel, my arms were as stiff as boards. Basically, I was a horrible dance partner, and it would have been really easy for my dad to become impatient and frustrated with me. Yet during this time when I was being difficult, he extended to me patience, grace, and compassion, and allowing me time to understand the different dance moves, and by not embarrassing me in front of my classmates. At times, it can be difficult to extend patience, grace, and compassion to others. But when love guides our actions, it all becomes natural. My senior year of high school, my basketball team was well on its way to an undefeated season and a trip to the state tournament. Basketball had been a huge part of my life since the 2nd grade, and my teammates and I were determined to make the most of this final season. We stayed late, taking extra shots off the shooting gun, running extra to increase our endurance, and watching hours of game film on our opponents. By Christmas, we were 7-0 and preparing for a midseason tournament that we were sure we could win. The first 2 games of the tournament, we had to win 2 tough games in order to move on. These teams were scrappy, they were competitive, and they were talented. But with our efficient offense and our in-your-face man-to-man defense, we found a way to win. Finally, it was time to step on the court for the championship game. We would be playing the team that had won the 3A state title the year before. It was going to be a challenge, but our team, we were up for this challenge. My grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, sisters, brother-in-laws, and parents were all in the stands to support me. The game was tough, each team fighting hard to win the title. Full court press, man-to-man defense. The game would come down to which team could find a way to score against the stellar defenses. Going into halftime, it was anybody's game, and my team and I fought hard, but it just wasn't enough. Too many mistakes were made, and too many shots were missed. Devastated, I made my way back to the locker room with my teammates. And even after my team had left, I stayed hidden and thought about everything that had gone wrong. Everything that I did wrong. The last thing that I wanted to go do was tell my family how appreciative I was that they had come to support me. I was embarrassed of my performance, and the thought of facing my family was not appealing. Eventually, I did come out, and when I did, it only got worse. I was short, irritable, and rude. I answered their questions with quick, blunt responses. I said, "Thank you for coming," in the least sincere way possible, and I hardly even wore a fake smile. This mood would last until the next morning when my parents brought me back to the reality that basketball is just a game, but the relationships that I have and the way that I treat others is essential. Several times I've disappointed others with my decisions, but the people that I disappointed did not push me away. They showed me compassion. In the moments following my basketball game, I was most definitely acting selfish, inconsiderate, and insincere. The way that I was acting was unlovable. But my family, they loved me anyways. I hate to admit it, but I used to be the person that would push people away who didn't think the way that I did, or they made decisions that disappointed me. However, I've learned that when people make decisions we do not agree with, we must extend to them compassion and forgiveness. We must look past the unlovable behavior and love the person. I'm sure that we all have people in our lives who it seems at times are hard to love. Like the person who drives 45 into 65, or the sibling who won't quit stealing your clothes, or the student who seems to think they're way more knowledgeable than the teacher, or the classmate that cheated on the last test, or the friend that went out drinking the other night. However, we must remember that it is not the person that is hard to love. It is the behavior that is hard to love. It's not the person. It's their slow driving, their clothes stealing, their attention seeking, their cheating, their drinking behaviors. In fact, I'm sure most of us just had someone pop up in our minds, and that's okay. The question now becomes, how can we embrace others in compassion instead of pushing them away? Love looks past the unlovable behavior and extends compassion to the person. Whenever I'm struggling to love relentlessly, I turn to Colossians 3:12 and 14, which says, "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves in compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. And above all these virtues, put on love, which binds them together in perfect unity." That's my source of encouragement. What is yours? Demonstrating compassion looks different for everyone. What behaviors do you find are hard to love? What can you turn to as a reminder to show love each and every day? However, remembering to show compassion isn't enough. Each day, we are given the opportunity to be compassionate through our simple, everyday actions. Over spring break, I traveled to the country of Nicaragua on a mission trip. During the week, we were building a church, and one afternoon, one of the church members, Connie, came and requested that a few of our team come to her home and pray for her son. Our team decided to send 3 mothers, including my own. Their experiences as mothers helped to prepare them for what they were about to walk into. 9 years ago, Connie had given birth to a healthy, beautiful baby boy. When he was just a few months old, he became ill, and while in the hospital, contracted meningitis. Meningitis is an infection of the membranes covering the brain and spinal cord, leaving Emmanuel severely disabled. Now at the age of 9, Emmanuel weighs less than 30 pounds and has experienced no improvement of brain functions. When the 3 women walked in, they watched as Connie scooped Emmanuel into her arms. Right as she did, Emmanuel's face broke into a healthy, beautiful smile. He knew that he was in the love, protection, and care of his mom. The 3 women came back and told our team of the time that they had spent with Connie and Emmanuel. All were humbled by what they had witnessed and still in awe of the love that was shared between a mother and her son by simply scooping him into her arms. Later in the week, Connie came to the church with pans of rice pudding for each of us. She wanted to show us how thankful she was that we had come and visited her son. As she began to pass out these gifts of thanks, I stood amazed by this woman, the strength that she possessed and the love that she shared. She was the one with the sick son. She was the one that was living in the poorest country of Central America, where about 30% of the population lives below the international poverty line, earning less than $1.90 per day. Yet she was the one extending grace to me. In that moment, when she passed me the cup of rice pudding with an encouraging smile on her face, I felt a love that cannot be described. During the 8 days that I spent engaged in their culture, I was reminded of the importance to show love through our simple, everyday actions. The people of Nicaragua may be poor in materialistic things, but they are rich in love and joy. In today's world, we find ourselves getting caught up in grand gestures. However, during my time in Nicaragua, I learned that love is not just shown in those gestures. It is shown in the small, intentional actions that we do every single day. Connie showed her love for others by making our team pans of rice pudding and by scooping her son up into her arms. Each one of us in this auditorium has the ability to show love to others. For the parents, maybe it's doing another load of your child's laundry, even after they told you they would do it last week. For the advisors, maybe it's extending just a little bit more patience to the student who always finds a way to push your nerves. For the members, maybe it's engaging in a conversation with someone that you've never talked to, or providing guidance for younger members. Maybe it's simply smiling at someone as you walk down the street. The point is, no love is the same. No love is perfect. However, love is shown through our simple, everyday actions. The way I see love is shown in 1 Corinthians 13, 7 and 8, which says, "It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." This week, where have you seen others demonstrate small acts of compassion? What actions can you take to show love to others each day? Love involves sacrifice. It is patient. It is relentless. Love shows compassion and grace. I once heard that we can't love anybody until we love everybody. Like my family, show compassion to behaviors that are hard to love. Like Connie, show love to others through simple, everyday actions. Let's live in a new normal where we have compassion for behaviors that are hard to love. Let's live in a new normal where we can reach out to people who are different from us and just be friends. Let's live in a new normal where we intentionally show our love to others through simple, everyday actions. Let's let our actions be the proof of the love that we have for others. Let's live a life of engagement where we don't just talk about love, but our love actually does.
Love is here, love is now, love is pouring from his hands, from his brow. Love is near, satisfies, streams of mercy flowing from his side. 'Cause love is here.
Caitlin, your desire to show love and kindness to everyone that you meet consistently amazes me. The joy and energy you bring to any situation has been a blessing to us this year. It's been all of our privilege to serve with someone who served as our rock on more than one occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to present to you our friend and your 2016-2017 Kansas FFA treasurer, Caitlin Bonin-Blessed. Kansas FFA members and guests, please join me in welcoming a group of people who have given their time and guided Caitlin as she grew as a servant and a leader.
Growing up in the Clay County School District allowed me to develop in an environment where I was surrounded by constant support and encouragement. The Clay Center FFA is lucky to have an administration that shows so much support. Thank you for signing applications, attending banquets, and helping students with professional development. FFA members and guests, I am pleased to introduce to you my school administration. Mr. Vine, Joining your freshman ag science class as one of my first steps in high school was a good choice. Thank you for your encouraging and sarcastic remarks, for pushing me, and for believing in my abilities even when I didn't. Dad, spending the last 5 years in your ag classroom allowed me to see how incredible of a teacher and mentor you are to all your students. Even though you're now retired, you still show support to FFA chapters, mentor students, and provide guidance for young teachers. Thank you for showing me what true investment in others looks like. FFA members and guests, it is my privilege to introduce to you my FFA advisors, Mr. Mike Bine and Mr. Jay Bonenblest. Mom, thank you for all of the kindness that you always show. When times got tough this year, I knew that I could call you and you would provide love-filled guidance and advice. Thank you for being so selfless. Dad, I'm so thankful for all of the time spent in the ag room, on the softball fields, and in the livestock barns. Your constant support, encouragement, and knowledge has shown me the type of ag teacher and parent I want to be someday. Thank you for helping me recognize my potential. Ashley, Whitney, and Heidi. I'm so glad that I can call each of you my sisters. Ever since growing up, I have always looked up to you as each of my role models. I'm so grateful that I can now see how successful you have become. Thank you for being my best friends. Cody, Nick, and Jesse. Thanks for being the best 3 brothers I never had. Great memories have been created since you each pursued one of my sisters. Thanks for embracing me as a little sister and for all of the laughs and support. I'm so thankful to be surrounded by a family that has shown me constant and relentless and intentional love. Kansas FFA, it is my honor to present to you my parents, Jay and Brenda Bonenblest, and bestow upon them the Honorary State FFA degree.
Thank you for all you've done to help prepare Caitlin to make a significant impact on others and truly serve. Please join me in a round of applause for Caitlin's administrators, advisors, and guests. Now, in order to have a spectacular jam session, you have to have the right app to play the music. I personally advocate for Spotify. See, Spotify allows us to create our own playlists with our favorite artists and jam out in any way we choose. In essence, our app of choice supports us in all of our endeavors. In Kansas FFA, we have several people who support our ability to be successful and jam out in the FFA. Every year, we award a select group of these people with the Honorary State FFA degree. These people have served Kansas FFA in a way that is truly meaningful, and their recognition is well-deserved. I now call upon your Kansas FFA President, Miss Elizabeth Meyer, to assume the duties of the chair.
It is always a pleasure to receive honorary members into the FFA. The purpose of this ceremony is to recognize from time to time the efforts of others made on our behalf. Madam Secretary, please read the section of the National Constitution which provides for honorary membership.
Honorary members, farmers, school superintendents, principals, members of boards of education, chapter advisors, teachers, staff members in agricultural education, business people, and others who are helping to advance agricultural education and the FFA and who have rendered outstanding service may be elected to honorary membership by a majority vote of the members present at any regular meeting or convention.
Madam Secretary, will you introduce those who are to receive this honor?
Madam President, members, and guests, I am pleased to read the following names: Mr. Tom Meek, Mrs. Susan Metzger, and Mr. Ryan Miller. Our first honorary degree recipient is Mr. Tom Meek. Tom Meek has made numerous contributions to the FFA and has worked to help members pursue passions in the national resources. Locally, he's been instrumental in getting FFA members involved in outdoor education days, water quality training for elementary students, attending the state range camp, and serving at the Conservation District banquet. Mr. Meek has also worked with the Kansas Envirothon by setting up training workshops, holding qualifying contests in the spring, and directing the event. He served as the Kansas Envirothon's chairman for the past 3 years, chaired the 2014 Regional National Envirothon at Rock Springs Ranch, and served on the National Envirothon Planning Committee. Please join us in congratulating Mr. Tom Meek. This evening, the second recipient of the honorary degree is Mrs. Susan Metzger. Susan Metzger impacts agriculture on a daily basis in her role as Assistant Secretary for the Kansas Department of Agriculture. In her position, she strives to support Kansas farmers and ranchers. Mrs. Metzger also worked to preserve natural resources for farmers and ranchers when she served as Chief of the Planning Committee and Policy for the Kansas Water Office. In addition to her influential roles in the agricultural industry and her desire to support Kansas agriculture, she's contributed significant time and effort to the Kansas FFA Association. Her passion for FFA and agricultural education has driven her to assist in the sorting and organizing of the Kansas FFA archives held at Kansas State University. Furthermore, she has served as a mentor and coach for Kansas FFA Association's National Officer Candidate and has assisted with the State Agricultural Communications CDE. Please help us in congratulating Susan Metzger. Our third recipient of the honorary degree is Mr. Ryan Miller. Mr. Miller is an agricultural education teacher in Cimarron, Kansas. He's an American Welding Society certified welding instructor, which allows him to prepare his students to advance more quickly into careers. Mr. Miller serves as current president of the Kansas Association for Agricultural Educators and has participated in the Delta Conference to be recognized as a leader in his school and community. He serves as a mentor to teachers across the state of Kansas and has supported and prepared teaching interns for their own experiences in the classroom. Please join us in congratulating Mr. Ryan Miller.
I welcome you as friends of the FFA. It is my privilege as Sentinel to extend to each of you the symbolic handclasp of friendship and brotherhood.
As reporter, I am pleased to inform you that the FFA is a national youth organization whose purpose is to develop leaders in agriculture. Welcome to membership.
Your contribution as a useful citizen in our democracy serves as an example for our members to follow. As treasurer, I welcome you to our organization.
The FFA needs counsel and guidance from recognized leaders. It is my pleasure as secretary to add your names to our roll of honorary members.
As Vice President, I welcome you to the FFA. I would inform you that our members learn to appreciate the dignity of labor. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much.
On behalf of every member, I wish to say we are proud to have you as honorary members. May this affiliation prove valuable to all. I impress upon you that we look to you for counsel and guidance. It is because of the great respect we have for you that you have been elected to honorary membership. May we always cooperate for the benefit of all. I now declare upon you honorary membership in the Kansas FFA Association.
Our playlists can only be truly effective if they're playing in a vehicle that's taking us somewhere meaningful. Luckily for us, we continue to have wonderful supporters that allow us to move towards meaningful destinations. It's because of these supporters that we recognize recipients of the VIP citation. The VIP citation honors individuals who have dedicated many years of service to FFA and agricultural education. We honor these recipients for their immense support of the Kansas FFA Association. Madam Secretary, please introduce those who are to receive this award.
I am pleased to announce our VIP citation recipients, Leo and Sharon Schwartz. Leo and Sharon Schwartz have been advocates and supporters of agricultural education for many years. As a student and member of the Hanover FFA chapter himself, Mr. Schwartz was the very first Kansas Star Farmer, and this year is celebrating the 60th anniversary of receiving that award. He has been an active supporter of FFA and 4-H, serving in various leadership roles across the county fairs and in local livestock shows. Mrs. Schwartz has served as legislator in the Kansas House of Representatives for the past 20 years and has recently served as chair of the House Agricultural and Natural Resources Committee. Mrs. Schwartz has worked to positively impact agriculture as a member of numerous boards and committees, including the Kansas and Nebraska Blue River Compact and the Washington Chamber of Commerce. During her time as legislator, Mrs. Schwartz ensured that FFA members received a warm welcome and recognition in the Capitol each year. Strong advocates for the agricultural and pork production industry, Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz continue to manage Schwartz Farms, LLC, a diversified farming operation that produces grain and pork. In addition to their strong roles in the agricultural industry, Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz have been actively involved and supportive of the FFA. They have 2 children and are proud grandparents of 9. They are lifetime members of the Washington County FFA alumni and received their American Farmer degrees in 1981 when their son was an American Star finalist. They have been dedicated advocates of the agricultural industry and Kansas State University and active members in their community. Please join me in giving our VIP citation recipients, Mr. Leo Schwartz and Mrs. Sharon Schwartz, another round of applause.
Inevitably, there will always be some dispute as to which tunes fit a road trip the best. Should we be jamming out to some classic rock, belting out Disney tunes as a group, or listening to some chill country songs to get us in the mood and focus on our way to our destination? While it might be tough to decide and defend our choices, these next members have no issues sharing about agriculture and sharing their opinions with civility, knowledge, and eloquence. Participants of the discussion meet LDE can accurately articulate their viewpoints in a respectful manner. And during this session, we'll have the opportunity to recognize the members who've excelled in this LDE. We'd also like to thank the Kansas Farm Bureau for supporting this event and helping us to successfully implement it in its first year. Representing the Kansas Farm Bureau will be Mr. Rich Feltz. Madam Secretary, please read the names of the finalists in the discussion meet LDE.
In the first annual discussion meet, placing 5th is Noah Auctioner from the Greeley County FFA chapter. In 4th is Abby Goins from the Labette County FFA chapter. Earning 3rd place honors is Tatum Bronco from the Rock Creek FFA chapter. Receiving 2nd place honors is Isabel Harmon from the Arkansas City FFA chapter. And taking first place in the discussion meet is Alexa McCurdy from the West Franklin FFA chapter. Join me in giving all of our winners one final round of applause as they exit the stage.
Transforming our world, we are the leaders of change. It starts inside us, a passion that drives us. Transform FFA. Transform FFA.
Sometimes when we can't get the aux cord to work, Trenton and I will try and throw out a freestyle rapping session to keep our jams rolling. No matter how skillful we think we are on our imaginary mics, we have nothing on these next members. Participants of the Extemporaneous Speaking LDE have a choice of 3 random agricultural topics and are given a half hour to prepare a speech with the resources they brought with them. This challenges their ability to think on their feet, speak eloquently, and share their knowledge of agricultural industry. Extemporaneous Speaking LDE is sponsored by Tammy and Casey Neiman of Waukee, Iowa. Thank you for your support. Madam Secretary, will you please read the names of the Extemporaneous Public Speaking Contest?
In Extemporaneous Speaking, placing fourth and receiving $25 in a plaque is Noah Auctioner from the Greeley County FFA chapter. In third place, also receiving $25 in a plaque, is Brandon Karp from the Mays FFA chapter. The second place finisher receiving $50 in a plaque is Josh Turner from the Bueller FFA chapter. And this year's winner in the State Extemporaneous Public Speaking Leadership Development event, earning $100 in a plaque, is John Kennedy from the Jackson Heights FFA chapter. Congratulations to all the participants in this year's event and to John, who will represent the Kansas FFA Association at National Convention this fall.
Transforming our world, we are the leaders of change. It starts inside us, a passion that drives us. Transform FFA. Transform FFA.
We all have a handful of songs that we love so much we could perform to a T. I don't mean just memorizing the lyrics. We've memorized every note, guitar riff, and pause in the song. There's that one song that just makes us visualize performing in front of a sold-out audience. These next few members have prepared rock star speeches, memorized them perfectly, and performed them in front of knowledgeable judges. Participants of the Prepared Public Speaking LDE are incredibly skilled about sharing agricultural knowledge in an organized way. Let's thank the Landau Corporation for their generous sponsorship of the Prepared Public Speaking LDE. Madam Secretary, please read the results of the Prepared Public Speaking Contest.
In the Prepared Public Speaking Contest, placing fourth and receiving $25 in a plaque is Wyatt Crable from the Pretty Prairie FFA chapter. In third place, also receiving $25 in a plaque, is Sarah Slickoff from the Pretty Prairie FFA chapter. The second place finisher, receiving $50 in a plaque, is Julie Sherrod from the Neodesha FFA chapter. And this year's winner in the State Prepared Public Speaking Leadership Development event, earning $100 in a plaque, is Michael Dowd from the Spring Hill FFA chapter. Congratulations to all the participants in this year's event and to Michael, who will represent the Kansas FFA Association at National Convention this fall.
Transforming our world, we are the leaders of change. It starts inside us, a passion that drives us. Transform FFA. Transform FFA.
The whole purpose of our playlists is to strengthen the road trip experience we have on the way to our destination. In the same way, the chapters who've excelled in the strengthening agriculture portion of National Chapter have invested time and work into improving agriculture and the impact it has on others. This award is sponsored by the Western Equipment Dealers Association. Madam Secretary, please read the names of the award-winning chapters.
In the Bronze Division, the Elk Valley FFA Chapter. And the Marmaton Valley FFA Chapter. Join me in congratulating the winners in the Bronze Division once again. In the Silver Division, the Altoona Midway FFA Chapter. The Blue Valley FFA Chapter. The Caney FFA Chapter. The Cherryvale FFA Chapter. The Ellsworth FFA Chapter. The Fairfield FFA Chapter. The Fort Scott FFA Chapter. The Hayes FFA Chapter. The Inman FFA Chapter. The Jefferson West FFA Chapter. The Marion Florence FFA Chapter. The Natoma FFA Chapter. The Ness City FFA Chapter. The Onega FFA Chapter. The Republic County FFA Chapter. The Rossville FFA Chapter. The Russell FFA Chapter. The Southern Coffee County FFA Chapter. The Southern Lyon County FFA Chapter. The Tonganoxie FFA Chapter. The Valley Heights FFA Chapter. The Wamego FFA Chapter. And the West Elk FFA Chapter. Let's give the chapters in the Silver Division another round of applause. Please direct your attention to the screen as we highlight the chapters ranking in the Gold Division. The chapters ranking in the gold division are the Arkansas City FFA chapter, the Chapman FFA chapter, the Clay Center FFA chapter, the Girard FFA chapter, the Gossel FFA chapter, the Hiawatha FFA chapter, the Hill City FFA chapter, the Holton FFA chapter, the Hugoton FFA chapter, the Jackson Heights FFA chapter, the Marysville FFA chapter, the McLouth FFA chapter, the Mission Valley FFA chapter, the Riverton FFA chapter, the Southwestern Heights FFA chapter, the Stanton County FFA chapter, and the Udall FFA chapter. Let's give all the chapters being recognized in the Strengthening Agricultural Division one more round of applause.
We each have our own musical tastes, and we love to share them. In the same way, our next speaker has a unique message to share with us. Melvin Adams grew up in Houston, Texas with a unique set of challenges and a dream to play professional basketball. His hard work and attitude helped him to achieve his dream and eventually join the Harlem Globetrotters. Today, Mr. Adams travels the country to share his message with youth. Please help me welcome Mr. Adams to the stage.
All right, what's up? Man, can they turn the lights on? Because, you know, black people can't see at night. Turn the lights on a little bit. Can they turn the lights up? Yeah, there we go, can we? Ooh, all right, let me see. Can they? Are those right there? I feel like Jesus is talking to me. Oh, all right. How's everybody doing? Sweet, sweet. All right, before I get started, let me just see if you're with me. Let me see if you're with me. So clap once if you hear me. Clap twice if you hear me. Clap 3 times if you're ugly. Okay, right there. Okay, cool. All right. Today, you know what I want to do to you today? Today, I want to dare you to be great. Because if you realize how great you are, you can transform not only where you live, but you can change the world. Let me give you an example. My oldest son, he's 14, but when he was 11, he wanted to play football, right? So I put him with 14-year-olds. Now, they weren't on steroids. It was just fried chicken, cornbread, and Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Because if you want to be great, you want to hang around people that are better than you. How many of you believe that? Yeah. So I put my 11-year-old son with these 14-year-olds. My 8-year-old at the time, he's not into sports. He's into Legos. Everything is awesome. He's that brother. You know what I mean? He's not into sports. He gets distracted. So I put him on special teams. Special teams is 22 guys trying to knock each other's head off. You know what I mean? So I put him on special teams. Across from him was a 6'4", about 240-pound kid. And I told my wife, I said, baby, he going to kill Silas. They blew the whistle. He took off. His lips were so big, it looked like 2 pancakes fighting over syrup. You know what I mean? He hit Silas, and all I heard Silas say was, "Daddy!" I could only see out of one eye. I said, "I know, but get off the field." He said, "Daddy!" I could only see out of one eye. I said, "Calm down. Square your shoulders." I got his helmet. I pulled it to the front because he was looking through his ear hole the whole time. See, if you want to do something great, you can't be looking through the ear hole in life. Could they do me a favor? Can we turn those off? I can't see you guys. I want to be able to see y'all. Like I look like I'm interrogated by the police or something. Like, can they turn? They can turn them to Star Wars. I love you. Sweet. There you go. Now I can see y'all. Good. All right. So I wonder if you can just allow me real quick to just use DARE as an acronym to dare you to be great. Now, the D is every day you make a decision. How many believe that? Yeah. One girl. No, every day. Every day you make a decision. So let me tell you my life. So my story is my dad was 6'6". My brothers are 6'8", 6'7", 6'2". My mother was 5'3". And my aunts were Ewoks on Star Wars, but I had a dream. You know what I mean? I was the shortest, but I was also the cutest. Word up. You know what I mean? But anyway. And I had a hard time in high school. When you play a sport, everybody wants to play on the varsity, right? Because if you play on the freshman team, the only people going to come to the game is your mom and your daddy. If you play on the JV team, your aunt and grandmother might come. But if you play on the varsity, especially the guys, because we would wear the leather jackets, show up in front of the girls, like, you know what I mean? But because I was short in high school, they called me the Minute Man. So I said, "Coach, put me in a game." He goes, "In the Minute Man in a minute." You know what I mean? So I went to all of my homeboys. I said, "Guys, in the third quarter, I want y'all to stand up and say, put me in the game." So I'm sitting on the bench. Third quarter came. All my buddies stood up. They said, "Put Melvin in the game." I said, "Coach, you hear him?" He said, "Yeah, why don't you go sit with him? I'm trying to win." I mean, it was hard. You know what I mean? I remember going to the park, and if you ever played park basketball, the two best players picked the team. So it was about 9 people. So this guy picked one, he picked one, he picked one. It was 2 people left. It was me and a blind girl. So they got together in the huddle. So I'm like, what the huddle about? Even if I can't play, I can see. You know what I mean? But they picked the blind girl, but she had the best no-look pass I've ever seen in my life. Not only did I grow up with people telling me I was too short, I also grew up in poverty. We were so broke, if you tried to rob us, you'd be practicing. We were so poor, we couldn't even afford the OR. We was po. Y'all know the clone obsession? We had to buy repossession. Polo shirts is like a guy on a horse. We had to buy like a drunk dude on a mule, chilling. So I grew up short, and I remember getting a scholarship to a junior college in Hillsboro, Texas. Now, Hillsboro, Texas is like Manhattan. It's so flat, you can see your dog run away for 2 weeks. And I go to this college, and the coach, and I want you to remember his name was Coach Roberts. He sat me down, he looked at me in the face, and he said, "You're too little." He said, "You'll never play college basketball, and if you do play, they're going to call you windshield wiper because they're going to swat your shot all the time." Now, see, there'll be a lot of people in your life who will be drinking Haterade and watching Hater Vision, maybe graduate from Hater High. And they'll tell you, young people, you can't transform the world. But see, that day I made a decision. I decided that day that I was not going to be what Coach Roberts told me I was be. So I began to shoot about 3,000 jump shots every day. I ran 3 miles every day. I used to drive my mother's car on a major freeway in Houston, Texas at 4 o'clock in the morning. I would open up the door, dribble a ball while I was going 5 miles an hour until I could do it going 10. Had an opportunity to go to college in California, where the gas prices were so high in L.A., the Crips and the Bloods was riding together. Got to go to college, got to be a 2-time All-American. I led the nation in scoring my junior year, 28 points a game. Went on to play all over the world. Went to Africa. Africa. I went to France. Bonjour, oui, oui, pipi, ho, ho. And I got to live my dream. And so I remember retiring from playing professional sports, and I'm speaking to the top athletes in Texas. And it was Coach K from Duke and Coach Calipari from Kentucky. Coach Roberts was there from Hill Junior College. And I walked up to Coach. I said, "Hey, Coach, you probably don't remember me, but about 15, 16 years ago, you told me something that changed my life." He said, "Hey, it's all about motivating the kids." So I go sit on the side. I'm watching him, and they start introducing me. Coming to the stage, 2-time All-American, led the nation in scoring at 28 points a game, played with the Spurs, played with the Globetrotters, Melvin Adams. And I come up and I say, "First of all, I want to thank Coach Roberts, who 16 years ago told me I never played college basketball, told me I was too little. Told me if I did play, they're going to call me windshield wiper because they're going to swat my shot. And I want to thank him because if it wasn't for him, I never would have worked as hard as I did." See, but I made a decision that day that I was going to do something great, that I was going to transform the world. And I came to tell you today, there'll be a lot of people who will look at you young people and say, "You know what? You're not going to amount to anything. You're going to be just like your daddy." But I came to tell you today, make a decision today to realize that you're great. Aspire. I don't know who inspired you, but as a kid, there was a couple of people I looked up to. I looked up to Michael Jordan, literally and figuratively. In my first game with the San Antonio Spurs, we played the Chicago Bulls. Now, everybody knew Michael Jordan was back. He smelled like Ben Gay mothballs, but he was back. And I'm sitting on the bench, San Antonio Spurs. Michael Jordan is dribbling the ball, got his tongue out. He threw a look-away pass, and I'm like, where is this brother throwing the ball? All of a sudden, this long-nosed, light-skinned black dude, Scottie Pippen, comes out of nowhere, grabs the ball, dunks it in, so I jump off the bench like, yeah, way to go, Mike, you the man. Realizing I was with the Spurs. I get in the game, I'm dribbling the ball, David Robinson sets the pick, I dribble out the pick, and guess who was guarding me? Michael Jordan. So I said I can do two things. I can pass the ball and get scared like, ah! Or two, I can take Michael Jordan to the hoop because Michael Jordan puts his pants on the same way I do. May take him a little longer, but he does the same thing. I drive to the hoop, Michael Jordan elbows me in the chest, I shoot the shot, ball goes in, I'm fouled, I'm pumped up because I've just hit on the best NBA player. I'm on the free throw line, shoot my free throw. Michael Jordan is on the right side talking about my mama got a mustache. That didn't make me mad. What made me mad was he was lying. Because my mama got a goatee. But that started something in my life. Aspire to reach your dreams. When I was 10 years old, my neighbor drove taxis, and he drove a guy called Metalark. Now, a lot of the old vintage people, like you, because you look old, but anyway, those guys know what I'm talking about. Love you, white chocolate. But anyway, so my neighbor driving taxis. And he picks up Metalark Lemon. Metalark Lemon gives him tickets to the game. So I didn't want to go to the game. I'm from Texas. I love football. And so I went to this game. I didn't want to go. And I see this guy that aspired me. We had a lot in common. He was short. I was short. He was bald. I was bald. He was cute. I was cute. I mean, we just had a lot in common. And he shook my hand, and it touched me, and he let me rub his head, and it impacted me so much that I cut my own hair, and I became the new Curly. And I'm going to give you an example, so I'm going to need a little help. So can I get the guy right there? Yeah, you look like Harry Potter right there. Let me get that, brother. Right there, okay. Okay, let me get my girl here, Taylor Swift. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Yes. All right. Is there like some ladies here who have pants on? Because I know everybody got skirts on. Because anybody have, she has pants? Yeah, Kelly Clarkson, can you come up, please? Thank you. Since you've been gone. Okay, all right. This girl, you know you tall when you wake up and you see the Lord. What's up? All right, wow, okay. So I got Taylor Swift, Kelly Clarkson, Harry Potter. Let me see, can I get the guy right there? Look like Adam Sandler when he was in high school. All right, I need another girl with pants. His pants. Says pants. Another girl. Okay, can I get the girl in the Rosa Parks section in the back? Can you come on? Yes. All right. All right. Yes. I see her. Okay. And I need one. Okay, can I get the guy right there? You look like Justin Timberlake. Yeah, right there with the glasses. Yeah. No, not him. Not Dirk Nowitzki. The one right here with yes. Yeah, you. Yeah, just one. Yeah, that guy with the glasses. Yeah. Sweet. Now, see, one thing I want to challenge you young people. Listen, everybody's different. Some of you are loud, some of you are quiet. But there should be something about your life, whether you're loud or quiet, that should transform everyone within your sphere of influence. Because, see, I love having fun. If you hold in your emotions, you will fart. Let that stuff out, okay? And I want to tell you, this is my fourth FFA, and I'm not just saying this just to be saying it, but I flew in here, and I was at the hotel. A lot of people didn't know because I'm short, and I don't care if people don't know me, but they thought I was a janitor. But anyway, so I come in, and I want you to know, like, I was so impressed by, like, just y'all's character. Like, I watched a lot of y'all, like, walk to Starbucks. Some of y'all even went to Popeyes. I was like, wow, they live in a black neighborhood. Love that. Must be my cousin. But I was really, I went from floor to floor. Like, y'all wasn't loud. I just want to tell you, like, if, as a father, I would be really, if my children become like half the guys y'all are, I'll be a proud father. I just want to throw that out, man. You guys are amazing. For real. For real. Yeah. What I want to do now is I'm going to teach. Let me rephrase. I'm going to attempt to teach these young people how to do some tricks. Now, I don't know how it is in Kansas, but in Texas, my mom always taught me that girls go first in everything. So we had to open the doors for the girls. We couldn't eat till they ate. Because, you know, girls get mad, like, you know what I mean? But if you give them some chocolate, they'll be cool, like, is that Hershey's? So we're going to get the 3 girls. We're going to get 2 tall right here. Good night. Okay, all right. And then we're going to get Kelly Clarkson. You're going to come over here. I voted for you. Okay. All right. Okay, you're tall too. Good. Okay, you're going to get in the middle right here in between Kelly Clarkson and 2 tall. All right. All right, Harry Potter, you're going to get here. Big Swole, you're going to get here. And Justin Timberlake. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do these tricks for not just one person, but 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half people. All right? Yes. And I have 2 rules. Everybody say 2 rules. Rule number 1, you see anything you like, you clap. Rule number 2, you see anything you don't like, you still clap. Cool. All right. Now, I was watching all of you girls, and all of you girls are beautiful. Tell me something I don't know. But all you girls have hands, not just to slap your brother every now and then, but you have hands so you can catch the ball, because most girls all over the world would just sit there like, ow! It's just a ball. This is just a ball, not a bullet. You'll live to see another day. All right? So we're going to save the best for last. So you're going to come over here because your hair smells like Pantene. Okay. Your name is?
Amber.
Amber. Okay, Amber. Amber, you're going to do everything I do, and we believe in you. So I'm going to do a trick, and you have to do what I do. You got to get your hands ready. The ball is coming. If it hits you, I'm going to laugh, but I'm going to help you. You know what I mean? So, Amber, this is what you're going to do. There you go. Nice. Okay, that long leg. Okay. You're going to fake the pass. Okay, that was good. You scared her, brother. I mean, that was good. And then you're going to kick it. Good job. Give it up for my girl. Yes. Now, you have 6 different personalities here. And how can we bring all 6 together as one? Now, Amber was a little nervous. She'd start turning red, blacks turn purple, but we're all the same. But because you clapped and motivated her, she was like, I can do this. This is
Caitlin.
Wow. When she gets married, her husband got to run like, I love you. I love you. Love you. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. Watch the ants. No MSG on the corn. All right. So you're going to do the same thing my girl Amber did. It's going to be a little different, a little easier because you are the woman superstar. All right, so you're going to go around your waist twice. This leg, here. You got this. So you can just kind of do the calf. Oh, okay, all right. Around the world. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Good job. Okay, cool. Okay, anybody got some super glue? Then you're going to turn sideways towards Peter Parker's sister. You're going to raise your right leg up. There you go. You're going to hold it with this hand. Your nails look good. You got them done? Okay. That's a nice French manicure. Now you're going to hit it with this hand. Don't kill Tina Fey. Here we go. Good job. Good job. Give it up for my girl. Nice. This is my boy.
Josh.
Josh. Get her done, Josh. Josh, you're going to do a little different, Josh. What you're going to do, you're going to roll this ball just like this. On the back, knee, foot, back. You know it's hard when they take a deep breath. No, so Josh, I'm going to talk you through it. So you're going to roll it here. Okay, that's kind of nasty, but we'll roll with that. You'll go around the back. You're doing good. Okay. You're going to go off your knee, off your foot. Uh-oh, Josh, you the man, baby. Okay. That's, okay, yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Then round the back. There you go. Off your elbow. Okay, good job. Give it up for my boy. Yes. You're my hero, Josh. You're awesome, man. Now this is
Brandon.
Brandon, really is a trick. Hold on, Brandon. Hold on. You come here, Brandon. Around. Brandon is like, no. That's kind of hard. We're going to give him an easy trick. Brandon, what you going to do? You're going to roll this ball on your chest, round the back, between the legs. Not too hard. You know what I mean? All right. So, Brandon, on the chest, round the back, twice. There you go. Brandon, you got it. Ooh, nice. Then round the back. Okay. There you go. You got to stop eating that gluten-free. Maybe a little more. Then you're going to bounce it. Not too hard, Brandon. You're going to catch it. Yeah. In between the teeth. Okay. Does anybody have some suction cups? Hey, okay. Did he do the stanky leg? Was that the stanky leg? Okay. So, you can do it, Brandon. There you go. You got skills, baby. Eat. Okay, there you go. There you go. Hit it. Keep it there. You got to keep it. No, yeah. Oh, Lord, he going, okay. Tina Fey, can you help us? Thank you. Thank you so much. We love you. Your mom was a terrorist because you're the bomb. Okay, so you're going to put it back in your leg. You're going to put it, and then you're going to hit it like that. Nice. Give it up for my boy. Yes. You're my hero, Brandon. Thank you, man. Now, this is Trenton. Trenton. I like Trenton. Trenton's got a good attitude. Look at y'all smooth. You remember Jerry Maguire, my next door neighbor? Has 3 rabbits. Here we go. So, Brandon, realize your trick, B. What you going to do? You going to bounce it? Okay, we're not going to do that. If it gets in his hair, we'll lose the ball for about 2 weeks. So what you're going to do, you're not going to do that. You're going to turn towards that way, not now, but when you're about to do your trick. Round the waist twice. So, Brendan, you're going to turn around. Don't fart because you'll kill everybody in the back. Some people back there working really hard. So you're going to turn this way, round the waist twice, pop, lock, and drop. You got it. Here we go. Right there, my brother. Yeah. Good job. Give it up for my boy. Yes. Yes. My girl. You're awesome. It's easy. You got the easiest one. Now, your name is?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. She's a cheerleader. Ready? Okay. She's got that energy. Gabrielle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the ball on your finger. Do you believe that I can spin the ball on your finger?
Sure.
That was real motivating. Let's ask her again. Do you believe?
Yes.
All right. Now, Brenda? Gabrielle. Yeah. Gabrielle, before I do it, there's a couple things wrong with your finger. Okay, you got to file that down because you could stab somebody in China with that nail. Was that peanut butter? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Give it up for my young people. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. You did awesome. You did awesome. You did awesome, man. Now, we talked about making a decision to be great, talking about aspire to be great, but you have to recognize you're great. So let me tell you my story. I don't know what the guy said when he introduced me, but my name is Melvin Adams. I'm from Houston, Texas. Played college basketball, went on to play in the NBA, Globetrotters, been on BET Comic View, been on HBO Comedy, been on Oprah, been on Little Nicky with Adam Sandler, been on MTV Cribs twice. And when people read my bio, they go, you know, that's a great success story about a poor black kid who grew up in poverty but made his dreams become reality. Let me tell you the true story about my life. First of all, let me tell you about my mother. This was my mother. If I got an 89, my mother would cuss me out because I should have got a 90. If I got a 90, she'd cuss me out because I should have got a 91. And if I got 100, she wouldn't say nothing because that's what I should have got. I played football. I remember scoring 4 touchdowns. My mother said, you would have had 5 if you wouldn't have fumbled the ball. So you want to know why I shot 3,000 jump shots every day? You want to really know why I ran 3 miles? Because I thought if I could score more points, make more money, maybe my mother would love me more. See, growing up as a kid, my mother never told me she loved me. I never heard that. It was actually 11 years ago was the first time in my life that I ever heard from my own mother that she loved me. My dad was a cop. He was a cop, and he would come home and he would hammer 6 nails in a piece of wood. He would turn the sharp points. He'd beat my mother, he'd beat my brothers, and then he would beat me. And there are many times my dad would make me watch him, make my mom get on her knees on a gravel street, and he would beat her with a water hose. And as a kid like you going to school every day, to be honest with you, I was real suicidal. There was nobody in my life that was transforming my mind, transforming my life. Really had no hope, no dreams, no vision. I was going to school every day, and my high school principal was a lady kind of like FFA. She was a lady who woke up every day on purpose with a purpose to transform people's lives. And she came up to me and she said, you know what, you're awesome. Now, you have to understand, I grew up in the hood, and black people don't walk around going, hey, Leroy, you're awesome. I didn't know what that meant. She sounded like Chewbacca. But she said it so much, I started to believe it. She said I was amazing. I said, I'm not Spider-Man. She gave me my first birthday party, and I went from making all F's to being on the honor roll to being the first one to graduate from college in my family. My high school coach, he drove me to one of the richest areas, and the houses were huge, and he said, you know what, you can live in a house like that. And I started believing that, and I started saying to myself, if I really listen to these people, if if I really listen to them, then my children won't have to grow up like I did. They'll grow up in a better neighborhood. They'll go to better schools. They'll talk different. Father, were you poor, Father? Did you eat the government cheese, Father? Were you constipated, Father? Were you a Negro, Father? It changed my life. Simple words changed my life because a lady believed and saw something in me. And so I remember retiring from playing professional sports, and I started speaking in public schools, and that's what I do now. About 90% of what I do is I speak in public schools, and I go into the school, and I see the principal, and I go, because you know what, I don't know about you, but every day I wake up, I want to do something great. I want to transform people. And so I go to this elementary school, I go to the principal, and I said, hey, is there anybody here who needs to be motivated? She said, I'm going to let you figure that one out. So all the kids are coming in, I'm giving them celebrity names because that's what I do to build up self-esteem. And I see this little Hispanic girl, and I call her Dora the Explorer because swiper, no swiping. And I love Diego. And I did the same thing to her that I did to Gabrielle. The only difference between Gabrielle is I gave this young girl a Melvin Adams t-shirt. So they walk, they leave, go back to class, and the principal comes. She's crying. Boogers and snot is everywhere. I was going to hug her, but I didn't want that on my arm. You know what I mean? And she goes, how did you know to pick that girl? And I said, because she looked like Dora. She said, well, that girl is going to fail third grade for the second year in a row. And she's missed 18 days of school. And I said, you know what, can I go to her class? And she said, you do that? And I go, yeah. So we go to class, the girl comes out, she's crying, she hugs me. She said, you said more positive words to me in 4 minutes than my mom and dad had said my whole life. She digs in her pocket, she pulls out this note, and I thought it was her Instagram name. It was her suicide note for that night. See, every day I wake up, young people, and when you recognize you're great, and that's why I tell girls, if you're a girl, every morning you need to wake up, you need to look in the mirror, you need to tell yourself this. If you're white, you need to go, oh my God, I'm so amazing. If you're Hispanic, muy bonita, caliente. Yeah. If you're a black girl, hey, for real though, hey. If you're Asian, get ready for photo now. Whatever you do to build your self-esteem, that's what you need to do. You need to look in the mirror. You need to recognize that you're great. And see, when I recognize I was great, everywhere I go, I do great things. The E is expect. So I don't know about you, but every morning you wake up, there's a lot of negative things in the world. But there's a lot of good things, too. It's all in the matter of what you see. And you know what? My glass is already full. When I wake up in the morning, I already know somebody's going to cut me off on the road, but you're not going to steal my joy. Moms, you know your husband might fart when he's sleeping. Don't let that steal your joy. And I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I never saw my mom and dad be romantic. I never saw my dad blow her kisses. She caught him. Love you. No, never saw that. We never had a National Day hug fest, none of that. So I started writing poems to my wife. I wrote poems because I wanted to say something. Some of you girls, maybe you woke up today and you forgot that you were a queen. And I hope that as you hear my story, you'll never settle for nothing less than the best. And that's why I tell girls, when you get married, maybe about 30 years old, 31, when you start dating and stuff, you need to take a Bible with it. Put it between you and the boy. That way he got to go through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Yeah. Then, yeah. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, then he'll know how to act, and there won't be no Roman. You can use that one. So I started writing poems to my wife, poems like, where you at? I miss you. I'm cuter than Brendan. I mean, they were poems. And I came home after my first year with the Globetrotters. I'm signing autographs, and Sonia, that's my wife. Now, you have to understand, my wife is so black, she can put her fingerprints on charcoal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you black when you can wear yellow lipstick and look like a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like, you know you black when you can drive a motorcycle and get pulled over for windows too tinted. But I'm saying my wife is fat, P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting. But I'm signing autographs. And Sonia walked by, and I said, the Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. And I followed into this Barnes & Nobles, and I started talking to her. And I was like, listen, do you have a boyfriend? She said, no. I said, how long have you had that problem? Don't settle for a kid's meal when you can get a value pack. Don't get a hamburger when you can get a Big Mac. After she slapped me, I gave her my phone number. She was different than any girl I've ever dated. She'd walk into a room and it was dark and there was one light on her. Actually, it was like two because she's real black. You couldn't see her. And I began to realize she was the one. So I retired from playing professional sports. I took her to a beach in Galveston, Texas. I don't know if you've ever been to Galveston, Texas, but that water is so dirty. I used to be white and I swam in there my whole life. I baptized a baby and he died. But anyway, I'm just saying. Put a white piano on the beach, got 11 of my best friends, gave them all white tuxedos, gave each of them one white rose, and as I played her song, each guy brought a rose. We took a helicopter to a tall building downtown Houston. I had a table set up. She liked Subway sandwich, 6-inch turkey on wheat, everything but bell pepper. She liked her coffee black like her man, one equal. I know my girl, you know what I mean? Put the ring in the sandwich. She didn't eat it, but she said yes. So the next day I took her to the movie. Bought 3,000 roses, and while we were waiting for the movie to come on, all these guys started bringing the roses. So I said, hey, who gave you the rose? So I acted like I was mad. I walked in front of the movie theater. I grabbed the mic. Now I've spoken in front of 8 million people. I don't get nervous. But I was sweating like Mike Tyson in a spelling bee contest. I mean, I was nervous. I said, I want to thank my girlfriend, my fiance, for saying yes. It's been 16 years, 5 months, 21 days, 17 hours, 12 minutes, about 39 seconds. Nobody's counting. That was a great moment in my life. My wife, when she was pregnant with my first son, I used to read books to my wife's stomach. And Seth, that's my oldest son, he's 13 in the 8th grade. He's reading on a 9th grade level doing 10th grade math. I don't know if he's black or Chinese. I think he's Blackanese. But that does not shock me because I expect that. My baby boy, Silas, that's a whole nother story. Pray for me. But in my son's elementary school of kindergarten through 5th grade, there are 1,200 students. And they give out 12 awards, 2 in kindergarten, 2 in first, and so on. It's the character award. Character is doing the right thing, not just in front of people. Do the right thing even behind closed doors. And my son got the award in 3rd grade. Last year, he got the award in 4th grade, and just 3 weeks ago, he got the award in 5th grade. But it doesn't shock me because I expect that. Yeah. I made a decision that I was great. And I tell you this story, and some of you may be saying, man, Melvin, I hear what you're saying. I was at the little restaurant in the Holiday Inn called the Hootin' or Hottin' or, yeah, you said it. You got it. And I was there, and I'm talking to this lady, and she's like, what do you do? Because I was, like, motivating, like, just kind of encouraging the guy that was serving me or whatever. I said, what do you here? And I was telling her why I was here. And I kind of told a little bit of my story, and she goes, how does that relate to kids that are farmers? And I said, you know, at the end of the day, people are people. I don't care if you're black, white, Michael Jackson, don't know what color you are. We all the same. People are people. I don't care if you're in Manhattan, Kansas, Kansas City, Cockroach, Texas. It doesn't matter. And so some of you may be saying, because see, if you want to do something great, how can you do something great when you look in the mirror, you don't even believe you are who people say you are? We spend money we don't have to please people we don't like. Because that's really what it's all about. But when you look in the mirror and you realize you're great, young people, you will transform not only your community, you will transform the world. And so I tell you that some of you may be saying, Melvin, I hear you. My dad is just like what you said. My mom may be just the same way. How can I change? Because some of you are angry, like, I'll tell you, me and my oldest son, Seth, when he was about 6, I play Madden. I'm good. I'm like your face. I'm awesome. And I'm playing my son Seth in Madden, and I'm beating him bad. I'm like, who's your daddy? He was like, you know what I mean? And I would run in his room and go, hey, Seth, look what I found in your pocket. Loser! He started crying. I'm like, suck it up, you know what I mean? And from 8 to 10, he never wanted to play me. But I found out he went on Google. He learned how to play the game. So I came home one day. He goes, hey, Dad, you want to play Madden? I said, you want some of this? He said, Daddy, I want all of that. So we're playing the game first quarter. He is whooping me 35-0. And he's all in my face like, who's your daddy? I'm like, you know what I mean? He's running in my room like, hey, Dad, look what I found in your wallet. Capital One and loser! And he was all in my face. His breath was funky. He needed an Altoid, a Tic Tac, and some bubble gum. He was so condescending. He was all in my face. Get some. I got angry. I walked away, and I accidentally tripped over the power cord. The TV cut off. The game cut off, but I plugged the TV up. I turned the TV on, and I pressed restart, and it was 0-0. And I say that to say that many of you in the first half of your life, maybe you've been getting beat down, maybe verbally, maybe emotionally, maybe even physically. But every day is a new day to press restart. I know some of you guys, maybe you farted in your mom's purse. Every day is a new day to press restart. Some of you girls, as pretty as you are, you've been kind of mean to other girls. Every day is a new day to press restart. And see, I tell this story, and I walked up here. When I first walked up, I said, how many of you have a dream? And there was like 2 people, like, I want to go to jail. Yes, it's my dream. How many have a dream? Like, what is your dream? What do you want to do in life? You guys some of you are seniors, you're going off to college, maybe Kansas, maybe Kansas State. All right. Yeah. Yeah. This is a true story. I'm driving in the rental. I'm listening to the radio station right here in Manhattan. This little girl on trial. The judge was trying to find out who was going to get custody of the girl. So they asked her, do you want to stay with your mom? She said, when my mom drinks, she beats me. They said, well, you want to stay with your dad? She goes, well, my daddy drink, he beats me too. They said, who do you want to stay with? She said, the University of Kansas. Say, why? Because they don't beat anybody. But listen, back to the story before we, it's my boy right there. Everybody, you can tell the people at Kansas like this. See you in the back, black man. Jayhawks forever. But I'll tell you this, and I'll challenge you with this, and then I'll be out of your hair like I'm out of mine. Some of you will get that later. That black guy was profound. So there was a 19-year-old kid from Canada, true story, had a dream to play chess. And ESPN had put on this competition. The winner would get a round-trip ticket around the whole world. But this 19-year-old boy began to doubt. And he said to himself, how can I beat these men that have been playing chess for 50 and 60 years? They played chess with Abraham Lincoln. They helped Noah put the animals in the ark. And I don't know about you, there are many days I looked in the mirror at 5'8" with high heels on, trying to play a professional sport with an average height of 6'4". There are many days I looked in the mirror and I thought, maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe I am a black Smurf. I can't defeat Gargamel. How can you do that? There are many days I looked in the mirror, and there are many of you, even the kids that came up and did the tricks, they were like, I can't do it. Get her done. But all of them did it, and they did it well. And so this 19-year-old kid goes to the first day of competition. He wins. The second day he wins. The third day he was the national chess champion, and his first stop was to London, England. He walks into the museum and looks to the right, and there was pictures of you in 3D. Oh! It was amazing. He looks to the left, and there was all these paintings from third world countries, but in the back was an oil painting of a chessboard. He was so excited he had more teeth than a dentist. He starts running in the back, and all you saw was his elbows in his butt. Brother was just moving, you know what I mean? And he's blown away. He just won. He sees this oil painting, but he notices to the left, there's this real big muscular guy, like from the movie 300, Sparta. And he's reaching over the chessboard, instilling fear into his opponent. And on the other side was a little bitty boy with a tear going down his face, like, and underneath it says checkmate, or basically you lose. So he looks at the muscular guy and he looked at the kid. But he noticed something about the game that was awesome. Immediately runs outside, he gets a taxi. He says, take me where I can get a chessboard. Gets a chessboard, brings the chessboard back. He puts a chessboard right in front of the chessboard that's on the oil painting, and he started making moves on his board according to what he saw to the chessboard on the oil painting. He looked at the muscular guy, he looked at the kid. He looked at the muscular guy, he looked at the kid. And he started making moves on his board according to what he saw to the chessboard on the oil painting, and he stopped. He looked at the kid in the picture, and he said, don't quit. You got one more move. Don't quit. You got one more move. And see, I don't know about you. I don't know if you ever ask these questions, because if you want to be great, you can't just deal with the weeds in your life. You got to deal with the root. And so I started looking in the mirror. I started asking these questions. What would make a dad beat his wife? I don't know if y'all asked that question. Like, what would make a dad beat his children? What would make a mom not tell her kids she loved them? So I did some investigation, and I found out that my daddy's daddy had been married 8 times. That brother was a pimp for real. And what kids see, they practice. What they practice, they become. So my uncle died with his 3rd wife. 2 of my brothers have just divorced their 3rd wife, and my one brother get high so much we call him Stay High. My mom, her dad was an alcoholic and a gambler, beat my mother's mother all the time. My mother's mother worked 3 jobs so she wouldn't have to deal with the affairs and the abuse. My 4 uncles are gamblers, drugs, and alcoholics. 3 of my 4 aunts all married abusive men. But see, me, I changed the cycle. I learned how to press restart, and I dared to be great. I dared to be different so that I can not only transform my family, but I can transform everywhere I go. Every step that I make, I'm transforming, I'm changing lives. And young people, I want to tell you today, this is my last story. I went to a school in Midland, Texas, and we're changing lives, we're transforming lives. And so there's another town called Odessa. In Odessa, they'll hug you before they mug you, stab you before they grab you. You know what I mean? And they said, we need your help. And I said, you know what, send me to the worst school you got. They go, okay, we're going to send you to a school called Hood. And I go, you know what, that's where I'm from. So I go to the school and I'm speaking. And at the end of the speech, there were 2 kids, a boy and a girl, Hispanic. The boy had a black eye, and he said, every day my dad tells me I'm a piece of S. And I'm not talking about Superman, even though it was a good movie. Every day my dad tells me I'm a piece of S. I don't know about you. Maybe you hear that a lot. The young girl was the most interesting story. She said her dad left her in 2nd grade, mom remarried in 3rd and 4th grade. Her stepfather told her mother, I'll stay with you if you let me. And the mom said yes. And see, you may be saying, that doesn't happen. That does happen. You can act like Stevie Wonder if you want and live in denial. And when kids do what they do, don't be shocked. So I go up to this girl, and I said, I never met this girl before in my life. I never met this girl. I said, I don't have a daughter. I got 2 boys. But if I had a daughter, and if she was like you, I'd be a proud father. See, we make life so simple. Life is so hard. Young people, listen, every day you wake up, make a decision. You make decisions all day. Make a decision that you're great. Because when I look at you and I saw you in the hotel, y'all are amazing. Y'all are like Avengers in Manhattan. And I didn't even want to clap my shoes and go see the wizard. I wanted to stay here with y'all. I wanted to meet the Lion and the Tin Man and all them brothers. Michael Jackson, poor black boy, grew up to be a rich white lady, the whole staff. Aspire to be great. I don't know about you, aspire, who inspires you, who motivates you, who does it for you? Is it this lady that takes the pictures? Is it this guy who looks like George Bush right there? He looks amazing. Is it this guy, like a teacher or something, like a math teacher because he looks smart? Is it this lady here? Hey, girl, did you get a speeding ticket today? You should have, because fine is written all over you. Boom. Aspire. Yes. You can have that. Or recognize. Seriously, when you look in the mirror, listen, you young people are absolutely amazing. Even you moms. You moms that have come out, maybe you've been doing so much for your kids, you forgot about you. Some of your toenails look like Freddy Krueger. You got to take care of yourself. Stop looking out for everybody else and take care of you, girl. You want to be like, oh, no. Some of you dads are doing you're a good daddy, man. I don't even know you. The girl in the back he is. She's been hanging with Medea. He is. Hello. You're a good dad, man. Keep up that good work. There's some counseling classes that maybe you need to go to on Thursday nights. I'm teasing. You look good, man. Recognize you're great. The E is expect great things, man. Expect great things. I came here to Kansas. I was expecting to do exactly what I'm doing here today. It's not shocking me because I expect it. And I want to dare you to be great. And if you dare to be great, you, young people, will transform, again, not only your school, not only your community, but you can transform the world. If you would have told me at 9 years old when I was really shy, and you wouldn't believe that because I have diarrhea of the mouth. But if you'd have told me that at 9 that I would be speaking to 8 million people, I would have thought you were smoking crack and hanging with Snoop Dogg. But you know what? I dare to be great, and I'm transforming the world one kid at a time. If you have Instagram, follow me at Trotter Melvin. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much.
Maybe a little bit. Mr. Adams, thank you so much for being here today with us and sharing your inspiring words. It was amazing to hear. Thanks, sir. It was awesome to hear how you overcame your personal struggles, and thank you for sharing how we can transform ourselves and choose to be great. On behalf of Kansas FFA, please accept this gift.
Transforming our world, we are the leaders of change. It starts inside us, a passion that drives us. Transform FFA.
Pretty cool guy. Kansas FFA, thank you so much for jamming out with us during this awesome session and continuing to journey with the Kansas FFA. We heard inspiring words from your 2016-2017 Kansas FFA treasurer, Caitlin Bonenblest, recognized individuals and groups who've impacted the Kansas FFA Association, and awarded members who went above and beyond to be successful in their respective LDEs. Finally, we saw chapters who've worked to develop themselves recognized on stage and heard the inspiring words of Mr. Adams. As we conclude this session and continue on our own journeys, I now call upon our chair, Kansas FFA President Elizabeth Meyer, to assume the duties of the chair.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
Yes, I do, Madam President. The 5th session of the 89th Kansas FFA Convention is tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Highlights of the 5th session will include the retiring address of your 2016-2017 Kansas FFA reporter, Jacob Grinstead. Agri-Science student recognition and the State of Agricultural Education address by Mr. Kurt Dillon will also be presented. And finally, we'll have the long-awaited nominating committee report and the election of your 2017-2018 Kansas FFA officer team.
Thank you. Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this session of the 89th Kansas FFA Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.